What's going on, everybody? This is OnDeck, and recently the MPC 3.0 software released its first official version. Now, I've been using the beta for quite a while, pretty much since it came out, and I've really enjoyed the workflow changes, the arrangement changes, and I think it's overall a huge step in the right direction. The new version of this software, well, the first official version, has a couple new features inside of it, namely some stuff with the key groups, but I've been hearing a lot about one feature in particular, which is called Repitch. From what I understand, you can use it like a normal warp mode, but instead of trying to retain the pitch and stretch your sample to warp it and change the timing of it, it'll just change the pitch so it does it in a more natural way. Now, the best way I can think of to use this feature is with something like a drum break. Today we're going to start out a beat with the drum break using the repitch function and see what we come up with. Sounds pretty good for now. Let's chop it up. And we want to go fix all these. It's always good. Go shift and then hit this 0 snap. It makes it easier to find a 0 crossing point, which means it's not going to click when you play the sample. Like, it's not going to have that click thing at the start. Probably something like that, but we'll fix this chop here, and then we'll try it out in the sequence first. Then we'll see if we can demonstrate the new features. So we're pretty much at 90, and then we might have to go a little bit slower, but then we'll do the repitch and see what the tempo is. Now we know that the tempo of the drum break is around 90, so we need to keep that in mind when we do the repitching because it's going to be based off of BPM, not tuning. I'll show you what I mean. Cool. Here is where we can try this feature out. Let's select all of our chops, and then what we need to do is do both BPM sync and warp. We know the original BPM is 90. Then if you go in this algorithm, they have it on the sample edit, or sorry, the program edit page now. We have it on repitch here. So if we change this BPM, it should all stay in sync. Let's give it a shot. Nice. You can push this pretty far and it doesn't really sound too messed up. Maybe if we go down here, it's going to start to sound a little broken up, of course, but we're going way off the BPM. Let's just do a nice cozy 83. I'm going to listen to some samples. I'm going to see what fits over this, and we're going to see if we can just make a really quick track once we got this repitched drum break laid down as the foundation. Let's see. I think I heard something there. So I have the sample loaded up here. We're gonna get into some chopping here. I like to do manual most of the time. If I already hear the chops and I just want to do it quickly, maybe I'll go into the sample edit page and do my manual chops, or lazy chops rather, then convert that into a group. I'm gonna go way deeper in the sample here. Something else I heard over here. That'll do. Get some processing going on our stuff so we can tell what we need to do with the sample to get it sitting where we need it. I always like to soft clip my drums. We'll put that at the end in case we want to do processing before. And you know what? There's a little too much air in there. Let's go to our transient and let's turn down some of that sustain. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Let's extend this a bit. Get some nicer envelopes, like a little bit longer. Now this would be cool if it like cuts out here. Let's get a little bit of color in this thing. Nothing too crazy. I really like that bass line. In fact, I pretty much based the whole chop around it. So what I'm gonna do here is hit this pencil icon, duplicate track with events, make another copy, see where I can filter this out. We'll listen to this other one muted. Now we can go back to our other track, maybe a little higher for a good measure. Let's see, is there any low end? Ah, a little bit. So I can actually cut this way harder and let more of this through. Yeah, that'll sound better, I think. It sounds thin now, so now we're gonna have to compress this. We're gonna keep it minimal, man. We don't actually need that many layers on this, I don't think. That timbre profile gives more life to it. Cool, so that kind of shows how you can use repitch on a drum break. I could mess around with the sample with the same method, but the way I chopped it, it really just needed some pitching. I didn't really want to work with it in the sense of BPM because I wasn't really thinking about the BPM when I chopped it. If you're ever chopping it and you're doing like time chops, maybe you're chopping a sample that has little drums in it and you want to place your chops there. Anything where the timing is very deliberate, then you could use repitch and sequence your chops and try out some different ideas. But the good thing about having repitch on is like I can now change the timing of this a bit. Like maybe I could change this to 87, play it. Now that's a little too fast, and the drums are gonna stay right in the pocket. It's pretty cool that they added that. I'll just use it mainly for drum breaks. Typically, I don't like to get too hung up on BPM when I'm making beats anyways, so it's definitely useful in many scenarios, but it's more useful like anything, yeah, again, with deliberate timing. Let's just add a little bit to this drum break. Let's mess around, maybe add a layer or two, and finish it up. Let's take this off the drum program, and then go multiple. Put them in a mute group because I want to use this same group to layer the drums. And then this way, what I can do is I can just choose like pad B1, put my kick sample in there or snare sample or whatever it is that I'm layering at that moment, and then use this simultaneous play between the pads to trigger them both. That way you could process both without having to like flatten it to a pad. Go to my drum kit. Let's try just that really like subby kick here. Let's see if this works. I just want a little more oomph in the kick. Without. With. Maybe that snare too. Let's layer that up. Now that's smacking. Ooh. Let's keep this minimal. Let's do just audio track. This just could be like vinyl crackle or something for texture, and then maybe we'll throw on the compressor, see what other layer we can add, go from there. Now let's turn this down. All right, one more layer, just because most of this sample is like a bass line anyways, so we can add just a little bit extra, just a nice extra touch on it. Do I have scratches? I think so. I was just looking through my folders on here. I had a folder of scratches already, but I don't know what happened to them. Now, I am not someone who really scratches, but I'm just gonna grab a record and just see if I can make something myself to go over this thing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know, I gotta figure something out here. We're doing this for the first time. This is not my field of knowledge at all. I don't know, we'll try and cut that up. There's probably a bunch of stuff I don't want in there, but you know, we're just trying stuff. What am I doing? Oh, that's so annoying. Oh my god, what a mess. You know what I should get? I should get some acapellas or something. That would be so much easier to scratch and lay down. Let's see. Oh, that tiny little cut there is actually not bad. That was fun while it lasted. Hold up. Sometimes when you're adding layers, it just doesn't work, you know? You don't know if you're going to be able to make the key work. It's kind of a guessing game. I like to keep a folder with a bunch of stuff with the key labeled, which makes it easier. But, you know, sometimes it's just trial and error. Maybe just a little horn. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this. We're just going to do the 8-bar loop. I'll do another video where I expand on the arranger and some of the other features in the MPC 3 update. But for now, I'm happy with that. We used Repitch to get the drum break lined up, and we layered some stuff on top of it, made it into a full beat. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week. Peace.